Welcome back to the Samantha Show. I'm your host, Samantha. You can call me Sam. Just don't call me Sammy. And I'm here with Taelor.
The French perfume.
The French perfume. My friend, my former coworker, all the things.
Yeah.
Taylor's hungover.
I am.
I thought I would just break the ice with that really quick.
I was on the drive here. I was like, do I admit that I had a Sunday fun day yesterday, or
of course you do.
I just act like, no, it's just a Monday?
I know that it's not just a Monday because I saw your mini beers on Instagram last night. So what is that? What's in a mini beer?
So a mini beer is liquor 43, but it looks like the color of beer, like the yellow.
Okay.
But then you put either whipping cream or half and half on top. And I let Chris pick between whipping cream or half and half, and he picked the half and half, which I wanted him to pick. And then you put that on top, and that's the foam.
So what does liquor 43 taste like? What kind of liquor is it?
I don't know what it tastes like alone, because if you put more half and half, then you can't really taste it. Yeah.
Just drowning it. I miss those days. How old are you again?
28.
Okay, so I got like 10 years on you, but at 28, it does start to hurt a little more.
Yeah, it was rough. But I woke up this morning and I called Chris and I was like, thank you so much for doing the dishes. Thanks for cleaning the apartment up. And he goes, oh, you did that. I was like, past self me was looking out for future self me.
I love when we're ambitious when we've been drinking. Admittedly, Joe and I went on date night Friday night, and I drank a little bit more than I normally do. I never drink, right? So I would say for Sam, it was a lot. I had 3 cocktails, okay, but it was a lot for me.
That is a lot for
with liquor. And the next morning, I woke up and I went to shred, and I was
God.
But I was like on fire. Like I was like, God, I like ran so hard. Yeah.
Wow.
But then the next day my body was so sore, and I was like, was I still a little numb from the alcohol running that hard? Like what happened?
I canceled my class this morning. I could not go. It was not happening.
You were like, I'm not working now. But you made it here to the podcast. And I've been looking forward to chatting with you because we like we've shared some like sentiments recently about career and life and changing our paths and what that looks like. But I want to talk about that. But before we do, should we do a taste test?
Yes, let's do our taste test.
Taylor posted on Instagram the other day, you had the Oreo flavored Coca-Cola.
Yes.
All right. And you brought
I brought it.
You brought some.
Yeah.
I got us ice in cups if we want to pour a little in there.
I think we're going to need to, because I think it's going to be a better experience if it's colder.
Okay.
Than warm.
All right, let's try it.
Let's do it.
Oh, here, give that one here. I'll do a little in the mic. Here, you do it. Here.
Ooh. Oh shit. Oh God.
It's okay. It's all right. It's look, what happens at the podcast studio is fine. We're here for theatrics. So now that that's all over you, I'll let you pour in my glass here.
Before I was like, am I allowed to cuss on your podcast?
Sure.
Oh.
We're here for the effects.
And then if anyone's watching, it's going to be even better.
Exactly. Watch the video. Although we got a new camera, so who knows? I know. I need more table space. Your poor shoe. Yeah, are you going to pour some? You have to taste it.
It's probably true. Wow, I love the effects that we have.
I know. Okay. Anyway, I think I was saying something about I like when brands think outside the box with marketing and branding. Okay, a little tasty. Oh, that didn't cheers very loud. Let me ching it one more time.
No, that doesn't.
Silly glasses.
Oh.
Is that different than the first time you had it? Did
you
have it out of a can?
I had it out of a can though. So that's why I was like, I got the bottle. They didn't have the can, they had the bottle. So I was like, okay. Actually, this isn't that bad.
It tastes like vanilla Coke to me.
So I thought it tasted like cherry
cherry vanilla
like a
Coke.
fake cherry. I don't know, but I also don't like cherry Coke or vanilla Coke.
Really?
Mm-mm.
You
I'm just strictly Diet Coke.
I like some Diet Coke too. So I had
that's actually not bad.
So I had Jacqueline Drake on the podcast. She works for NASCAR. She's our Miss Ohio, for America Strong. She's out of North Carolina. She said she likes to make Coke floats where she puts ice cream and Coke. And I feel like if you put ice cream in this, that would be a good dessert.
Yeah. But I've also heard that Coca-Cola is different from Coke Zero. Like, I probably wouldn't know the difference. I don't think I've ever had this. Is Coke Zero.
Oh, I like Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just like Diet Coke.
I
already had one today. That's actually the hangover cure.
Well, I have something else for your hangover cure.
Yes.
So we're also going to try the Oreo, the Coca-Cola flavored Oreo, which actually this bag has been open for like a week and a half now. So they're a little like soft stale. I had one the other day. I was like, oh my God. And I got 2 more days before Taylor gets here. But I'm still going to have you try one. And I'm going to eat one because I think they're not half bad.
Yeah. Okay. No, I've been wanting to try one. I just didn't want to buy it. It was the risk, like the cost benefit analysis I had in my head was like, I'll get the Coke, and if I don't like, I dump it out. If I don't like the Oreo, that's
a whole thing of
Oreos that I'm not eating.
Right. Okay.
So, do you just like go for it? You don't? Oh, okay.
A little soft, a little stale. Sorry. The flavor's fine. I'm making her eat old stale Oreos while she's hungover. Tell me if you did the Pop Rocks.
It's popping. Wait, I actually like these.
Yeah, I think they're good.
I like this better than the actual drink.
All right, I'm going to be really bold. I'm going to dunk my Oreo in the Coca-Cola. Okay. I feel like I'm hungover with this stuff right now.
Oh. Yeah, I know. Like sometimes it creeps back up. It reminds me. Now it's just a.
I actually didn't mind that moment in my mouth because
now it's just a wet Oreo.
Because there was something kind of carbonatey, like cool, that refreshed the stale Oreo.
Actually, yeah, it's good.
So not only can you get Oreo flavored Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola flavored Oreos, you can get both, and you can dunk the Oreos in the Coca-Cola and just have a totally out of body experience.
Yeah, that was actually great.
Awesome.
I didn't mind the Coke. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's good. I still have like popping in my mouth a little bit in my back. Yeah, popping back there on those molars. Oh my gosh! So what have you been up to?
Honestly, it feels like nothing and everying.
Yeah.
Like the last, like, honestly.
Yes.
Like, people ask me that question. They're like, what's been going on? I'm like, I mean, the last month and a half, I started my new job a month and a half ago. I love my new job. And that has been so great because, one, I work remote, and working remote is a game changer.
Yes.
I love working remote. I love, like, my team, my supervisor. I just went on my first work travel last week at in Washington, Pennsylvania, which was fun, just to kind of get back into the swing of things. And I have just been, that, and then just riding a lot at Nick's cycling, which has been fun. And I started at their front desk there last week, and I've also been subbing at CycleBar. So I've been doing a lot of shit.
Right. Yes.
Actually, that I think about it.
I know. It's like when you sit down and put it down on paper, you're like, oh, I've been doing this.
Yeah.
I've been doing
like
this.
I'm always go.
Yeah.
Which I like, but
very similar. And so you and I, like, we really connected because you worked at CycleBar. We both worked at CycleBar Liberty Township together. You got moved into the lead instructor role at our CycleBar how many months before we closed?
It was mid-December.
Yeah, and then we closed in May?
April 3rd. Yeah, May 1st.
Yeah, and so, I know when you moved into that, oh my gosh, we had these one-on-one conversations. You're like, should I quit my full-time job and do this?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, do it, Taylor, do it.
You're always that person that is just do it. Like, just do it. But I appreciate it, though.
I mean, do you? There's like this, I want to be a mentor in addition to a friend. And here we are. I'm like, yeah, Taylor, quit that full-time job with that secure salary and come work in fitness full-time.
Yeah.
And I remember too, like 2 or 3 months after, I remember thinking, I think I'd kind of like alluded to, I'm like, you should like explore other things. Like, I felt it in my gut. I was like, this is not going to be around long. And I also too, like, didn't know, like, I still don't know, like, from a corporate, like, education team, like, are we growing? Are we hiring? Somebody asked me the other day, I'm like, I don't know. Like, hang around, see what happens, but like, don't put all your eggs in this basket because you just don't know. So, I know, like, we closed when the studio closed. Like, what was kind of your first thought?
Oh my, fuck. Sorry, like, I mean, like, honestly, but no, to your point, like, I'm a gut feeling type of person too, and like, and an energy type of person, and I think gut feeling and energy were telling me something different, even though I didn't want it to.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking for other jobs like before the studio closed, like just to get on top of things, but I was looking at like completely different industries that I've never even worked in before, like HR and like learning and development and like corporate type things that were transferable from working in nonprofit.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you did before. You had this, you did have a full-time job and then you quit. What was that job? What'd you do?
So I was the director of growth for a fraternity, for a headquarters. And basically that role, what I tell people is it's like the senior sales recruiter. Like you oversee the recruiting team that goes to campuses and recruits for the fraternity for new chapters. So I supervise that team, and my other half of my job is to prospect campuses where maybe the fraternity wants to go to, they've never been before, or they're no longer on the campus and want to go back. And that was the thing too, is like I was thinking about this on the drive here. I was like, I went through such like a huge like identity crisis when I quit my job, because that's all I've done. That's all people knew me as in college. Like I was chapter president. I was always involved in my sorority. I worked for my sorority after. I went to grad school to get my master's to continue working in like higher education. And then I worked for the fraternity for 2.5 years. And then I loved it until I didn't. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So, I mean, that's what I do now though too. I work for a different fraternity. I have the same job as the director of growth, do the same type of thing.
That's what you're doing right now?
Yeah. I do the same thing as I did before.
I thought you had gotten a job.
I know.
You back?
I'm back. I know, which is a plot twist.
I was not ready for that. Okay, so hold that thought. Hold that thought, because we'll come back to that. I'm really interested because you said, when you quit your full-time job and then you like got more into CycleBar, you had an identity crisis, which coming into CycleBar, I guess because you had been that for so long, because you had something else you were going into.
Yeah.
So you still felt that identity crisis moment?
Yeah, ish. Actually, I would say I felt it for myself, because I was like, well, I'm doing something completely different than what I know. And then actually when the studio closed, I felt like I had a whole other like identity shift.
That's what I struggled with.
Which I know you shared that before. Like even with your pageantry years, like I feel like I remember you saying you don't want people to just know you as like Sam CycleBar.
Yeah.
Like CycleBar Sam.
Yeah.
And like that's how when the studio closed, I was like, well, now CycleBar is no longer what I do or what my passion is, my job and like everything. So I think that's like where I struggle, is like when everyone's like, oh, well, what are you doing now? Like, oh, I work for CycleBar. They're like, what? What does that mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how it was like even before CycleBar. But then when CycleBar closed, like, well, what are you doing now? And I'm like, I have no idea. And they're like, oh, yep.
I have no idea. Anything and everything, nothing and everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I really felt that.
Yes.
When our studio closed, I went through that identity crisis very much as well, because I had been CycleBar for so long. Right. I think what was weird to me, what I experienced is that this like when our studio closed, I felt like I lost everything within CycleBar. Like it was all gone for me. And I needed to like grieve the loss of that. And so I went on this like spiral of like, what am I going to do? What happens next? What do I do next? And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And how do I fix this and all this? And then I got into the pageantry stuff, which pulled me so far away. But what I've realized recently is that I do still work for CycleBar. Like my job is still here and like the work is still here. And that like realizing coming back, I was like, hold on. Like, I was like, I feel like the situation made me panic in a way that like wasn't time to panic.
Right.
That was for me. I know you had to go back and work at Skyline, which we talked about. We talked about how hard it is. God. And I thought about it myself too, even when I was like, oh shoot, what do I do after CycleBar? Because my growth had been in such a niche market, like master instructor. I'd worked so hard to work my way up in this company that I know we had talked about like, how do I go into another industry and be at the bottom at 37 years old?
Right.
Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm going back to Skyline. What was that experience like for you?
It was weird. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things like where I didn't mind it because I guess for context, Skyline is where I worked at in high school and in college. And then, you know, here and there, like whenever I was like when in grad school and stuff like that. I think it was nice going back because I knew the owners still, like same owners, same management. My best friend works there, and you know, she kind of helped me when times were really tough, and I really appreciate that from her. But I think when people are like, well, what are you doing now? I'm like, oh, well, I'm working at Skyline. And I think it's like a culmination of like, you busted your ass for 6 years to get 2 degrees, to climb all the way to the top, to work with CEO level, board level people, influencing their decisions, although it's not like the organization's that big, but yeah, again, that type of work. Sure. And then I'm just like, I was like, honestly, sometimes I would get anxiety just going to Skyline. So I'm like, who am I going to see from home? Like, who am I going to see from the area that I know from high school? And they'll be like, why do I care so much about what people think about me working at Skyline? But that's all I could think about.
That was the thought. That was the thought. And that is what I struggled with. And there was like this moment where I remember, like, I texted my mom and dad. I was like, are you disappointed in me? And like texted Joe, and I was like, are you embarrassed that I'm your wife and I'm like at home all day and I like am on Instagram all day and trying to make money off of reels with Sunita or like whatever. And like, I think I even said to Joe, I'm like, do you think I'm a loser? Like that was the word, like that kept coming to my head. And I would struggle with that because I'm like, I know I'm not a loser. I know I'm super smart. I know I'm an asset to any company that I work for. But I also too had realized, like, I had found a freedom in my job with CycleBar, and we talk so much about the importance of a passion and really loving what you're doing holds value over going into an office where you just hate your job and it's an energy suck and your coworkers are a suck, and it's like it's not worth it. And that's like what I had found, and that's when I was like, well, are you going to go back into nonprofit work, like doing events and all this stuff? And I was like, I hated that, like the stress, the pressure, like I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I get, like, I think to your point too, it's like so much of like is what other people are going to think of us, right? And it's just that worry and that anxiety, which is hard to like get over that. Yeah.
But I had similar conversations too. I mean, Chris is one of my biggest supporters. He does not care what I do. Like, I mean, like not in that sense, but he's going to support me in whatever I do. So I know he didn't feel that way, but I actually had more trouble with my parents because, you know, they were like, well, what are you doing right now? Like, when are you gonna, like, are you still looking for jobs? Are you interviewing? And like, it was one of those things where I'm just like, oh my God, just let me breathe. Like, I just lost something that I never thought I was gonna lose. Like that I just,
huge loss.
Yeah. Like, and I mean the community, just feeling like you lost like that community, you lost like your sense of self. Like I'll figure it out at some point. But I mean, that was honestly the hardest part, because I care so much about what my parents think, and you know, they also help me through, you know, education. So it's like they, you know, and so to that point too, I think they were like, well, we just paid off all this debt. What you doing? Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, that makes me feel terrible.
It's hard, and I know it's not intentional, right?
No, right,
it's not.
Exactly.
And I think you hit a good point too, that like people just can't understand unless they were there. It's like, we lost something. Yeah, so big.
Completely.
And what I have found now, like getting back into teaching, you know, I'm teaching down at Hyde Park and Kenwood. I feel a lot better about it now. Yeah. Yes. And I think like in hindsight, I like genuinely had to grieve, and I had to spiral a little bit, and did the pageantry thing and stepped away and was like, I'm a shell operating in my corporate role. My heart is gone. But but now that the time has like passed and I feel a little more healed, although there are still moments where I feel sadness and stuff related to it. Now I'm like, okay, I'm subbing more often at Hyde Park. I'm starting to immerse myself into their community a little bit, getting into this other modality that I'm going to teach soon.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. You know, I'm like finding like, and what I found too, like doing the pageant stuff, doing this, I did like an event planning, nonprofit event planning, that car show. So what I found through all of it was like, I love the fitness industry. I'm like, this is my calling. So whatever that looks like, that's where I need to like put my time and attention. But I had to kind of explore, grieve, feel all these things, go a little off the deep end.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
We only live this life once. Like there's no playbook. Just
that exactly. So you ended up getting a job. So you are back doing what you did before. How did that job come up?
Honestly, just the connections that I still had. My supervisor in grad school is one of my biggest mentors in like the higher education and like fraternity and sorority field. And he let me know that the fraternity I work for now, they needed a director of growth. And they were like, it's just on an interim basis. It could turn into a long-term basis. And I was like, I'm at a place where I am open to entertaining any type of conversation, even if it's, because I actually was just going to, I was hoping to just do part-time work. Like that was what I wanted to talk to them about. And so when I got on a call with my now supervisor and his supervisor, when I left the call, like I was like, okay, I'm feeling like a fire I used to feel for this type of work.
Love that.
And I was like, I don't think I'm in a place where I can just ignore that. Yeah. And I think I reflected a lot before I did accept the job. And I think for me, it was like, I really did love the work I was doing until I didn't. And I really loved it until I didn't feel supported anymore. And I didn't have the people anymore. And I think when it comes down to, I think you said this. A lot of people have said this to me, but people leave people.
People leave people. They don't leave the work. They leave the community, the people.
Yeah. And I think that was what I had to come to terms with. Because I was just like, because I was so set on, I was like, I am never going back to higher education. I'm done. There's been like this whole thing in higher education where there's this mass exodus, and a lot of people are leaving higher education because we're not getting paid for the work that we do, and the pressure and the stress and all this stuff. But I was also in a place where I was like, I really can't afford to not have a nice paycheck at this point in my life. And like, now it's not just about me, it's about Chris and our dog and our life and stuff like that. But it really didn't come down to that. I think it just came down to, here are the things that I've experienced in my previous job. Here are my non-negotiables. How can we make this work for the both of us if this is going to be an interim, although I do hope it, turns into a long-term thing. I think being able to talk about those non-negotiables with my now supervisor was huge, but also I'm very drawn to him and his work and our executive director and the board and what they're doing. And it just feels more aligned with what I wanted my job to continue to be. But I was like, it's just not.
Yeah.
So type thing.
I like what you said, which I have found, and I found when I got back into like the event planning gig and stuff, and I think just comes with time and confidence. Maybe CycleBar gave us that confidence. I don't know, but being able to lay down your non-negotiables, and that has been one thing, because I've taken on, what I've realized for me is that there's a lot of little. I like every day being different. I like bopping around. I kind of like having multiple things going on. Like for someone like me, like going to an office, the monotony of the same thing every single day, even if I was at home doing the same thing every single day, I don't think that that's the life for me. So I like having these little gigs. But what has been nice, to your point, is being very like, this is what I need to be paid per hour for it to be worth my time.
Yep.
This is the flexibility that I want within this.
Yep.
Like this, being able to so clearly articulate, like, this is what I'm looking for. And I think a lot of employers are now adjusting to that way where it's like, get the job done. Just get the job done. I don't need you here in an office. And I fully believe that that's where work is going toward the future, which I think is great, because those with families and just the flexibility is the beautiful thing. That's what I have gotten so comfortable with CycleBar is the flexibility, and I get the job done. And so it sounds like you really articulated that with them, got the good offer.
Yep.
And so now you get to work from home and all.
I work from home. But the other thing too is like, there's so many differences about, and just like how, to your point, environment impacts so much of your work. Like, I don't go into an office every day. I like, Chris and I live in Westchester. We like the area. Like, I can go to, like, I don't have to worry about getting to like work at 8:30 and getting dressed and all that stuff before. Like, I can have a slower morning. I can go work out. Like, I think that there's just been a lot of like personal priorities that are just aligning more professionally with this type of work. But yeah, I mean, the flexibility has been great.
And it allows you to pursue this passion of fitness.
Yes.
So you have this full-time job. Why are you continuing to pursue fitness? Why are you continuing to teach? What does that do for you?
I was thinking about this on the drive over too, because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, is this the end all be all? And I don't think it is. Like, I do still see myself having a career in fitness whatever that looks like. I just don't know what it looks like right now, or it hasn't presented itself yet. But I think I think finding a studio that I really aligned with, it wasn't hard. I think I just wasn't ready to go back to cycling yet. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, that's why I have not been into Nick's.
Yeah,
because it's hard to describe my relationship with cycle right now.
Right.
It's like a very emotional, maybe bitter in some ways. There's still a lot of passion. And so it's like, even my teaching is so minimal, and I'm not writing really, unless it's, I'm like, have to for some reason, but yeah.
The step away was nice. No, I know. Yeah. I mean, I know, and I think it was just one of those things where I just kept avoiding. I was like, no, I'm going to find a different modality. I'm going to figure out other ways to be involved in fitness. But I was like, cycling just feels like my calling, however it looks, whether it's full-time or part-time or whatever. And I think this is what I missed. Like, as when I started my full-time job and I got settled in, I was like, I miss being able to connect with people. Not that I don't connect with people every day in my current job, but what I loved about being an instructor was storytelling and connecting and feeling like this was my creative outlet. And I'm a Pisces, and they're like, Pisces are creative. I'm like, I have never thought of myself as creative. I was like, I almost failed painting in high school. Like, it was not it was not it. But I get to create like an inclusive environment. I get to create a playlist. I get to create 45 minutes of someone's day that is probably the most important part of their day. And I was like, I missed that. And I just was not able to find any other outlets for it to do that for me.
Absolutely.
And so when I reached out to Ben and, Maddie, their lead instructor, I was like, I know we've been around this a couple times in the last 4 months, but I think I'm ready. Do you need some people? So
I felt that.
That's been cool.
That's great. And I felt that when I went and subbed this past Sunday at a good class, and one rider was like, when are you teaching? I was like, I just bop around, I sub. And he's like, oh, you're too good to just be a sub. You need a permanent spot. And I was like, oh, yes, you hit me in the heart with that one. I was like, I don't know. I was like, maybe in time, to you, it's like, I'm getting back into it. And, they've been so great and supportive, and shout out to Ben and his team there for welcoming us in with open arms.
Yeah. Here we are.
Mini beers on Sunday, hungover on Monday. God, when you work from home, then it doesn't matter. You can have Oreo Coke mashup days, podcast days, and live your best life. I think, that's like, if you could leave, Taelor, the listeners, like, you've been through a lot, and a lot of changes, a lot of different identities. So now you get that moment to share a message with maybe something you've learned, that if someone came to you younger than you and said, Taelor, I don't know where I'm going, or I don't know about life, like, I don't know what to do, like, feeling stuck, feeling lost, what would you say to him?
I think... Wow, that's a great question. I think in the last almost a year since I notified my company I was leaving, I think it was really like what's important to me. And in every single thing that I've done in the last 9 months, I think there was a common theme. Was I love connecting with people. I love advocating for people. I love sharing stories. I love creating something for people that they're going to benefit from. So whether that was serving a cheese coney,
a damn good cheese coney,
period, exactly. Whether it was that, or or just being able to recruit or supervise a team that is creating an experience for someone on campus, or I get to lead 45 minutes and then some more with just the work I was getting to do with CycleBar. Is I think if you're feeling stuck, it's what's important to you, and how can you keep that as a central component to your search, whether that's a work search, or I think a fitness type of search, or it could be anything, spiritual search, emotional search. Like, what are those things that are important to you? And I think that if you're able to keep that, I think that is going to allow you, and it has allowed me to feel the most fulfilled.
I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Mine's flexibility. I want flexibility.
Yes, flexibility.
Folks.
Period. Yeah.
Well, Taelor, thank you for taking this day, for coming. I think we should close with one more dunk and bite of.
Okay.
One more stale dunk bite of Oreo before we take this off today. Well, thank you.
Oh. Should we cheers the Oreo?
Yeah. Cheers to the Oreo. All right. Have a great day because you deserve it.
Yeah.
No.